Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 216 Sports Studios. I finally took a chill pill and took the time and the patience to come on here because guess what? I am frustrated, y'all. I am frustrated because that game could have been won because of a couple factors, okay? Number one, this is a time where I feel like Coach Atkins could review the tape and truly consider playing other players over the starters. All right. To be fair and to be considerate of the status of the roster at this moment, right now, currently, what we have to take in consideration is that we didn't have our full roster. But in one hand, we have to look at it in that fashion. In the other hand, there could be playoff scenarios or playoff situations where you're not going to have all your players, and what you have is what you have to play with. You can't come in thinking that because I got two players that are hurt, they're coming back anyways to help us out. You have to take in consideration those players may be hurt permanently for the rest of the season. You may not have them back. How do you adapt to the situation that you're in and make a better move or a better play to be a successful team? So real quick, I like to go down a player's stat sheet, see what productivity they gave you. Jared Allen played 28 minutes, 10 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists. That is unacceptable. The Celtics are a very small team when it comes to their front court. The front court small. Jared Allen should have dominated. There's no reason for Al Horford to be outperforming Jared Allen at the age that he is at. Now, I understand that Al Horford can pull a player out of the paint, make him run around a little bit, but Al Horford is not Steph Curry running 3 or 4 miles out there on the basketball court per game. So 10 points is unacceptable. He should have at least brought 15 points to the game with at least 15 rebounds, especially this specific game. This game is the one that matters. This is the game that actually will put you on the map as a serious contender or just a potential contender. So then Donovan Mitchell, even through his woes and through his down moments, he still managed to throw up 35 points in 40 minutes, 3 assists, and 8 rebounds. He is by far the top performer for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And then Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley had a tremendous game, and I think he was being pulled out at the wrong time in different parts of the games. I think in the second quarter, he should have been pulled to get a more productive play out of the team because there were other players that were playing at a higher performance in the second quarter. But he came out late third quarter, brought us back into the game, and then he was sat down early in the fourth quarter. I think when a person's hot, you got to keep him in the game. Pull him out when he gets gassed, and then go ahead and bring him back later in the fourth quarter if need be. But he only had 38 minutes. He's a young player. He shouldn't be getting tired. Obviously, we're human. We all get tired. But he shouldn't have gotten pulled out from the court or the game at that moment. To include Darius Garland, by far a disappointment across the board. 8 points, 7 assists, 2 rebounds. All right. 31 minutes. Darius Garland was too little on every screen that they set. He didn't close out on the screens properly. He left a couple of his men open in the beginning. And then to include, he was just getting manhandled every time in the post, in the high post, low post, even on the 3 line. Jaylen Brown was backing him down all the way through, getting beat on the dribble drive, not willing to put his body in front of another player. He just gave the lane. He just gave him an angle and made him go take that angles. There's Garland. I keep preaching this on all my Facebook posts, and people probably hate me because of all the posts that I make negative towards Darius Garland. But today's game reveals and shows the inabilities of being a short man in the NBA. This is what happens when you're short in the NBA and you only weigh $120. You get manhandled. That's point blank. Jaylen Brown is way too big, and this is where one of those scenarios that where Dean Wade or Isaac Okoro would be manning up on Jaylen Brown. So we don't have the body. Even Max Strus, when Max Strus come back, those three guys are way bigger than Darius Garland and would have been three players that I would have loved on the court with Evan Mobley and Donovan Mitchell. In this present time of watching the matchups wasn't just matching. Karis LeVert would have been a way better matchup. These are one of those moments where you no longer do hack a Shaq, you just hack the small guy. I got hiccups, I apologize. So hack a Shaq is literally what they did with Darius Garland. They weren't hitting him, they weren't touching him, they weren't following him. They were just switching their biggest ball handler that can move fast up against Darius Garland, which is Jaylen Brown. A mismatch for days, regardless of what Darius Garland would have done, whether he gained 25 pounds of muscle this off season, he was just too little. And I know I'm harping and beating this horse on Darius Garland, but Darius Garland was mentioned to be an all-star player this year. And with the potential of being an MVP at that. So I cannot no longer give the respects to Darius Garland unless he comes back on December 1st and shows that he wants to be a winner. Today, he looked scared the whole game, lack of confidence, missed 3 open layups. And then he has the audacity to walk up the court while Donovan Mitchell's trying to push the ball. He's dragging on the left side of the court, and you're like, yo, what's going on here? This isn't the Darius Garland we need. This is not a game you take lightly. I understand it's a regular season game. They got 3 more matchups plus the playoffs. But the thing is, Darius Garland had a lesser productivity level than Craig Porter. And last year there was a lot of rumors, Craig Porter should get minutes over Sam Merrill. Craig Porter should get more minutes than Darius Garland because, he just was doing the same thing you saw today he did the last 30 games of last year. So now we got Sam Merrill, 19 minutes. These 19 minutes Sam Merrill got should be the same 19 minutes that Darius Garland should have got. 19 minutes, that's it. Second quarter, third quarter, sit him down in the fourth quarter, like last 7 minutes of the fourth quarter. Darius Garland should have been on that bench. I'm sorry. I don't care how much he's getting paid. I don't care what the hype is. He should have been at that bench. There was no way he could match up well against Jaylen Brown. They were doing that pick and roll the whole game. Pick, screen, move your player, drag that player, give me Darius Garland. I'm going to cook him up all game. Now we got Georges Niang. Georges Niang, he did what he could. He's too slow. He can't guard Tatum the way we want him to. He had two possessions there that he looked great against Tatum. But 30 minutes, 11 points, 3 assists, and 4 rebounds. Just too little. He's too little at power forward, too slow at power forward. His true position is small forward, and he's too slow to be a small forward. Ty Jerome didn't show up. Second game in the season that he did not show up, and there was 2 key games right now that he did not show up for. 10 points, 5 assists, 1 rebound with 28 minutes. Craig Porter, the least amount of minutes outside of Sam Merrill. 25 minutes, had 15 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. Craig Porter was the only one that could shoot the ball today. Craig Porter has earned minutes today. And I'm sorry, I'm okay with Darius Garland being traded. I'm okay with that. Now, I'm not saying do that right now. All I'm saying is if there's key games, like when we face OKC, Dallas Mavericks, even though Dallas Mavericks have lost some very tight games that they should have won, their talent level, he's going to be matched up against Luka. He's going to be matched up against Kyrie Irving. He's going to be matched up against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's going to be matched up against Steph Curry. He's going to be matched up against on the switch and the picks on the screens. He's going to be matched up with what's this guy? Minnesota guy. And he's going to matched up with he's going to be matched up with Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson's going to cook his ass. Like straight up. Like Jalen Brunson's going to do him in. And no diddy. But the thing is, you have players on this bench that were performing better than your star player, and your star player got put back in the game and didn't take the opportunity to perform and show, hey, I'm the leader of this team. I'm going to go down swinging. He disappeared in the fourth quarter. He took 2 shots, a layup and a floater in the paint. Nowhere to be found. So I'm highly disappointed in Darius Garland. This reminds me of Damian Lillard, a man who can shoot the ball but never can win a game, an important game at that. Today is a sad day to be a Cavs fan because we could have kept that streak, could have even without Okoro and Dean Wade. But Dean Wade, Okoro, Karis LeVert, and Max Strus are coming back. 4 key players that we need in our rotation. It definitely shows why they're important to this team. But our next matchup, I'll go ahead and look that up now. Our next matchup should be our next game should be the Pelicans tomorrow. Tomorrow we face the Pelicans, and good thing Zion's hurt. Good thing Zion's hurt because he would have beat us up tomorrow if we gave him the opportunity. But if you like my live, congratulations to the Boston Celtics. You are the best team in the East still. We were undermanned, but so were they. They didn't have Porzingis. Porzingis would have had a heyday with us with the way Jared Allen played today. But Jared Allen, we can't give no excuses for Jared Allen. Jared Allen should have played stronger, should have played with his presence felt. I don't know what it is in Boston. They look under the weather. They look out of it. They didn't look prepared to play. And they're the best record in the East. So the power rankings tomorrow, Boston will be number 1 in the power rankings tomorrow. I expect them to sit there for the next 2 weeks. They'll be number 1 in the East, number 1 overall in the NBA, because we did give it to the Warriors. So the Warriors are definitely not the number 1 team in the NBA, but it's definitely Boston. Looking at today's bar, looking at where we're at, I could honestly say Boston's the number 1 team in the NBA. OKC will be number 2 on my power rankings, Cleveland, and then the Warriors. So today definitely showed that we are not number 1 in the East, regardless of what the record says. We definitely have to show out on the 1st of December when we play the Boston Celtics again at home. I will say maybe the court looking different kind of messes with their eyes or something. But that's my analysis of the game. I have Boston number 1, OKC number 2, because I tell you what, OKC is not scared to play anybody. When they come and punch you in the mouth quickly and as long as they can, and they stay in the game. They don't let intimidation be a factor when it comes to them being successful. The only thing that I could probably say OKC may take a back seat on us is that they don't have Chet Holmgren. Hope you recover soon, young man. Very good player. OKC by far is the number 2 team in the NBA, I think, with Chet Holmgren. Without Chet Holmgren, then you can say Cleveland's probably the number 2 team in the NBA. But the Boston Celtics live rent-free in the Cavaliers' head. Yes, we're undermanned, but you felt the intimidation. Like you felt you didn't see the fight in their eyes. You didn't see the fight in them. Like it didn't show up to the 4th quarter when Donovan Mitchell was doing it by himself. Evan Mobley was doing it by himself. 3rd quarter with Craig Porter. Like Craig Porter, Evan Mobley was what carried this team to the 4th quarter. And that's why I don't understand why Craig Porter and Evan Mobley weren't in the game at the end. Like the way, running the offense, because Ty Jerome didn't show up. Darius Garland, forget about it. Man didn't show up. Respectfully, Darius Garland needs to go see a psychiatrist because speak to somebody about his emotional well-being, because the man is not going to go to sleep tonight. He scored 6 points, 7 points, or something like that. It's sad. It's a sad performance, especially from an all-star caliber player. So welcome to the studio school. I homeschool my kids. Well, my wife homeschools my kids. That's why I'm in the office schoolroom here in my house. But anyways, Again, if you like my content, hit that like button. If you don't like my content, that's fine. You can just say hi or give me a critique of what I'm saying. Maybe I'm overreacting on my analysis of the team. But I will say here in the next 4 games, that will be 25% of the season already done. So every 20 to 21 games is a quarter of the season. All right. So we're at 15-1. Boston Celtics handed us our first ass whooping. And that's okay. That's okay. We got time to grow. We got time to develop. We got time to get better. I would definitely encourage the Cavaliers, if any of y'all see this video, which I hope y'all do one day, would take everything I said in consideration as a grain of salt. I don't expect to be sick. I don't expect to be heard. I just started this podcast or this YouTube channel. I started the YouTube channel a long time ago, but I just started this live stuff. This is technically day 1 of me going live. So if you like it, you liked it. But anywho, again, Craig Porter, Evan Mobley, and Donovan Mitchell were the only ones that showed up today to play. I'm a little disappointed in Jared Allen. Very disappointed in Darius Garland's performance. It sucks because I feel like if we had our players that were injured in the game, it would have made a big difference. But even if they also didn't have Porzingis, if they would have had Porzingis in the game, I think that would have made a major difference as well. And I think they would have blown us out if Porzingis was playing. But being that Porzingis isn't playing and our 4 players weren't available, Karis LeVert, Coro, Dean Wade, and Max Strus, which are completely game changers. Defensively, I think we would have been fine if we had those 4 players playing with Evan Mobley and Donovan Mitchell at the top of the key. I think that would have been a perfect matchup. And I'm saying, when I say perfect, I mean perfect. It would have been locked down D all the way down, no Diddy, all the way to the last 10 seconds. So I apologize for all that noise. My son is banging on the walls. But all right, y'all. I don't got nobody in the chat. But when you guys do see this video, I want to say my highs, my thanks for tuning in. And humbly speaking, I'll always be a Cavs fan. I'll be a Browns fan, unfortunately, and a Guardians fan. Go Indians. But let's see. All I'm hoping for is that we don't end this season like the Atlanta Hawks, being a mediocre team, being whooped by LeBron James, which I know there's nobody that's like LeBron right now that's going to beat us in the East. But with all that being said, good job, Cleveland, for going undefeated for 15 games. Good job for showing fight at the end of the game. Good job, Donovan Mitchell, for continuing to push and be a leader of the team, even though I feel like it was a coaching error at the end with Craig Porter not playing and Evan Mobley not showing up in that 4th quarter. Like I said, there's moments where he just disappears. Fantasy-wise, I had some great fantasy numbers because I had both the Celtics and the Cavaliers on my roster for DraftKings. But the end goal wasn't to win money today. The end goal was to see the Cavaliers win. I didn't get that today. But tomorrow we got the Pelicans. We will come back strong. We will come back hopefully better than today. And hopefully Darius Garland gives us a redemption game because he owes us. He owes us big time. He owes us one good game where he can perform lights out, and then we can ridicule him. Where were you during the Celtics game, right? Because there's more than just scoring the ball. He could have facilitated a lot more than 7 assists. He could have rebounded. He could have dived. He could have stolen the ball, played with some tenacity, not with a – he said he loves to be the hunted, not the hunter. So guess what? You got hunted, eating rotisserie stuff, peeled, squeezed. They did everything to you. Yeah. They exploited how weak your defense is. They exploited how little you are. And that being said, I don't know what else to say, man. I'm just very disappointed in Darius Garland's performance today. and Jared Allen. But at least Jared Allen gave us his averages, which is typically 15 and 15, but he gave us 10 and 11. You can't really complain about that. I just wish his defensive presence was more there. A lot of what he's doing can raise eyebrows, can raise a cause for concern. Jared Allen could potentially be on the trading block because of his performance today. You got to think about it. Teams like the 76ers are probably going to break up real soon. You got Paul George sitting over there. You got Joel Embiid sitting over there. You got what's that other player they got? You got Tyrese Maxey. You got three good players over there in Philadelphia that don't look too happy. They don't look too happy. They look like they're looking for a new home. And right now, Darius Garland and one of our bench players could be a nice pickup for Paul George and just one first-round pick. And we can get a nice Paul George pickup. And now that would change the whole dynamic of the East because you still keep Jared Allen, keep an average, but then you have Donovan Mitchell running point. You got Isaac Okoro and Max Strus at the shooting guard position. And then you got Paul George at small forward. Now, these are just scenarios that I'm running by you because right now nobody's talking about trades. I don't want to start any trade rumors, but you got to keep it in perspective. The whole idea of playing basketball in the NBA is to win that trophy, to win the finals. And if you can't win the finals with the guy that you have right now, it opens the door for discussion. Can Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell carry this team to the finals and win the finals? That's the real question. So as of right now, there's no panic mode. There's no need for trades. I'm not saying there's need for it because we haven't seen our four injured players play against the Boston Celtics yet at full capacity with the team that we currently have healthy. So on December 1st, hopefully we'll have all four players back, except probably Max Strus. So we'll have all three players back by December 1st. Hopefully all three play against the Boston Celtics. And then the narrative can change like, oh, well, it's because they were short-manned, or they were short-handed, and now they have everybody on the roster back except for Max Strus. And we're going to make sure that this team is capable of competing against the Boston Celtics. That may be the narrative after December 1st. And plus, we got to include, Boston was playing at home with that ugly green court. I didn't like that court at all. I'm honestly telling you from not because I'm trying to be a sore loser or am a sore loser. That floor actually bothered me watching the game the whole time. Like it gave me like, how an Android and iPhone and they say the green, it bothers people's eyes. Well, that green definitely bothered my eyes today. But anyways, back to the fact that they get another opportunity to play with a fully healthy roster, hopefully by December 1st, God willing that nobody gets hurt between now and December 1st. We get to play the Boston Celtics at full capacity because Dean Wade and Isaac Okoro are not expected to be out that long. And then we also have Karis LeVert, who's not expected to be out that long either. They're day-to-day, team decision. They're going to be day-to-day team decision and see how they are health-wise. Now, that being said, if we have everybody healthy and we play on the 1st and Boston Celtics still manhandle us, which I pray and God forbid, I'd rather win by 1 point than lose. That's, and still believe that, Boston's still a better team, but we still beat them. Like, I still want that record to be 1-1 going into a tiebreaker later on in the year. But go, please. So on December 1st, if we're at full capacity and we lose to the Boston Celtics, that door needs to be from crack to open to possibilities of changes to the roster. Because it don't matter how good our record is. It don't matter how well we perform throughout the whole year. It's what happens in the playoffs. And a lot of us Cavs fans are mad because we're not getting the media attention that we deserve. We're not getting the recognition that we deserve. ESPN SportsCenter does not talk about us. NBA TV does not talk about us. Nobody in the media talks about us. And we get frustrated because Cleveland's a very nice city. Where if it's talked about and people come to Cleveland, Cleveland is a very old traditional city, and it has lovely, lovely fans. And I personally grew up there. I don't live there anymore, but I grew up there. And man, I love Cleveland, and it's a passion. Like, it burns, and the fire never turns out. But the thing is, if an if was a fifth, we all be drunk. But if we lose on the first against the Boston Celtics, we have to consider, with all these teams that are losing in the East and have a lot of star players, like, think about it. The Charlotte Hornets are looking bad right now. They have Miles Bridges playing over there. Miles Bridges is trying, but they keep losing. They have Paul George in the Sixers. Sixers are 2-8. 2-8. And then you have the Washington Wizards. As much as you don't like Kyle Kuzma, to me, talent overall, I think he's better than Darius Garland. That's just my opinion when it comes to capabilities. Well, I lied. Darius Garland is a better basketball player than Kyle Kuzma. But what Kyle Kuzma offers in the forefront, Darius Garland can't give, which is size and presence and the ability to attack the paint at will with his sheer size. Now they have Miami. Miami's not doing too well. Miami signed too many contracts in the past during the Miami Heat dynasty that now they're kind of paying back taxes on a lot of this stuff, and they can't afford other players. They got a guy named Jimmy Butler. They got a guy named Tyler Herro. They got a guy named Bam Adebayo. There's packages you can send to get players like that in Cleveland. Now, that's only if we lose on the first at a full healthy roster. We would have to consider opening that door, because even though, like I said, our record doesn't show that we suck, it doesn't show that we can win the finals. And that's where I sit with this team at the present moment. And then if we look at the West, the West looks pretty steady. To be honest, if there's one team that I would consider making trades with, is probably Dallas, because Dallas has, how do I say it? Probably not Dallas. Probably the Magic. The Magic have a good team right now, but they're deep in the point guard position, and they need an established point guard. Darius Garland being an established point guard, we don't need him because we have Donovan Mitchell running the point. We got Craig Porter, Ty Jerome, both perform better than Darius Garland today. So that's where I sit. That's where I stand. But I'm about 28 minutes in. 30 minutes is where I'm going to end this video. If you like this content, I don't think there should be a trade yet for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I just want to clarify that. I don't think there should be a trade for the Cleveland Cavaliers yet. All I'm saying is that door should be considered open, and we should consider opening that door if we lose on the 1st of December against the Boston Celtics again, because that's a redemption game. That's at home. At home, we should punch them in the mouth. We should win that game by at least 5 to 10 points, because we'll have 4 guys, 3 offensive skilled players coming back, 1 defensive player coming back, and they're all capable of being starters on this roster. So from today, we were shorthanded. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Today, we were shorthanded. We didn't have our full roster, and Darius Garland wasn't hitting. So at the end of all this, Darius Garland, I say this with much respect, love your game. I just think you're too little. Too little, one-dimensional, and you panic. You panic in hard scenarios. I got 50 seconds left. Just want to say congratulations to Cleveland for going 15-1. The second team to go 15-0. I can't wait for you guys to play the New Orleans Pelicans tomorrow. I'm not going to do a review for the New Orleans Pelicans. I'm just going to go ahead and continue without doing a review. And then I'll do a preview before the game, and then a post-game announcement or review and reaction to the game. This is my reaction. This is my review. If you like it, hit that like button. If you like what I'm saying, if you feel that you agree with what I'm saying, go ahead and hit that follow button. And if you just want to give people a perspective of this crazy guy talking about Cleveland Cavaliers and he's already thinking about trading players, I'm not thinking about trading players. I'm just saying that consideration should open up if we lose on the 1st of December versus the Boston Celtics again. Well, y'all have a lovely night. God bless. My prayers go out to all of you. My love, my wishes of greatness, my wish of blessings and happiness over you guys. In Jesus' name, I pray that you guys all have a wonderful, wonderful day and a wonderful night. God bless your families, your loved ones. And for those who don't have a place to sleep, God, I ask that you cover them. And for those who have not eaten, God, I ask you fill their bellies. Amen, y'all. With love, good night. Congratulations to the Boston Celtics. Congratulations to the Cleveland Cavaliers for going 15-1. I shall see you tomorrow. Pelicans versus Cleveland Cavaliers. Peace.